YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Keezy. It ain't easy being Keezy, and in today's video, we're gonna do another pickups video. I know, I've been doing a lot of pickup videos lately, but I've been getting in a lot of stuff. I've been trading a lot of stuff. Let's put it that way. I haven't really been buying stuff. It's more so I sell something, then I trade it, and then here we are with another pickups video. So, let's get it. Okay, so before getting this whole thing started, of talking about all these items that I got here today and all these pickups that I got here today, obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. I haven't been posting because of all the things that have been going on. Of course, Black Lives Matter. Of course, you got the COVID stuff going on. You got so many things all happening at once in 2020. 2020 will probably be one of the most memorable years, whether positive or negative. I'm not sure, and hopefully it's more positive than it is negative on the outcome, but we don't know. And I just didn't feel as comfortable posting, but I think I'm gonna start posting a little bit more consistently. I did take like a week and a half, almost a 2-week break. It feels weird to even be back on camera, but in conjunction to the Black Lives Matter movement, I know a lot of people that watch my channel, they don't come to my channel for politics, right? You guys come to my channel to see clothes. You want to see like the Bapes, and you want to see the OG denim that I buy or something like that, or even pickup videos, right, for that matter. Streetwear is what I'm getting at. And to link everything that's going on in the world, I put together as many brands that I found that are contributing to Black Lives Matter. So they might make a t-shirt, a hoodie, or whatever, and the proceeds goes to Black Lives Matter or maybe George Floyd. I'm not sure exactly which one. I kind of did a little homework on each of these brands that I'm going to give you. I'm going to try to put them in either the description or pin them at the top of the comments, and it's just going to be their Instagram @. So you can go ahead and check out their page, you know, and do your own homework or your further homework on those as well, and then see which one that you want to support, right? So I mean, it goes in conjunction. If you're out there already spending the money, you might as well put your money towards a brand that is also contributing to something that's going on right now. So let's move on to the first item. Okay, so first item that we have, I've already kind of opened this, so it's not really too much of a surprise for me. This is not a pair of shoes. This is not a hat. This is not a t-shirt, hoodie. But what this is a toy, and what this toy is actually a toy action figure of myself. Like, I kid you not. It says Keezy TV on the hat right there, KTV. He's got his like little shoes on. He doesn't have Bapestas on, but he's got shoes on. He's got his mask too, because you know we're all in quarantine right now. He also does have like a little flannel and a hoodie to go with it as well, right? Looking pretty dope. This project to create this, I created this myself. I think overall this was just a kind of like a fun project for me, because I'm really into toys. Some toys, I really like Gundam toys. I just don't have space or anywhere to put Gundam toys, like all, you know, decorated really nicely or anything like that. I love Gundam stuff. I love cause toys too, but those get extremely expensive. And I was like, well, why don't I just make a toy, right, for fun and see how it goes. This is not the first toy I've ever made. I've made a previous toy before that with the same manufacturer. And I was like, all right, you know what, let me hit up that company. I haven't talked to them in a long time. It's been over 2 years, maybe a year and a half to 2 years since I've made the toy. Previously, the toy that I made in the past was made out of clay, and then they harden it and then they paint it. And for this toy, the reason why it's different is because they do 3D printing for this toy instead. So initially when you send them the design, it'll be a 3D model design, and then that's when they take the program, put it onto the 3D printer, print it out, and then it is hand painted afterwards, because there's really no other way to go about painting a toy other than to do it hand painted. Especially this in the back here, you see that it's like a padded plaid flannel that he's wearing, and I designed this whole thing myself. And if you're wondering, well, where did you get this face from? He actually comes from right here. It's Keezy TV, the one that always tells you to subscribe, because I never voice to tell you to subscribe to my channel, because I think it's not that it's corny, it's like, it's cliche, right? Every single YouTuber asks you to subscribe. If you happen to watch my channel and you like it, then you could subscribe, or you don't have to subscribe. Doesn't matter to me. And not to go too much further into this toy and how I immortalize myself into an action figure, but I wanted to make it because, you know, I'm heavily obsessed, as you could tell, with like Bapestas and stuff. More specifically Nigo. He's like one of my favorite designers within streetwear, And if you know Nigo, he's very into like collecting things. He collects like all of the Star Wars action figures. He's collected all of the Planet of the Apes action figures and posters and stuff like that. He's really big into like buying kind of quirky things sometimes, and even for some can almost consider him to be borderline a hoarder. Right? He buys KFC collector's items. He damn near has like every vintage piece of like almost anything that you could imagine. I'm not saying I want to be just like that. I probably don't want that much stuff, because it's like, where do you put all that stuff? But where this comes from is pretty much the toy aspect. I mean, he's really into toys, and that's kind of like what got me into toys and kind of collecting things, and like the appreciation behind curating things that are collectibles. Originally I was like, okay, we can like mass produce these things, but I will say this is just for fun, and it was a fun project. I mean, there's some things about it, actually there's a lot of things about it, whether it be some of the coloring, whether it be the hat shape and stuff like that, that I kind of want to tweak and change later on, because if you know, for producing anything, no matter what you make, it's never really going to be good on the first try. And I can tell you right now, this is good, it's fair, it's what I expected it in the mail, really, and it's gonna have to go through like many different stages of it being perfected in the future, of something that I really want, right? And hopefully they keep my mold as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. Okay, so this next item, I'm actually pretty excited to tell you all about it. It's not perfect yet. And this is not a brand name. This is actually something that I also made. So this is the second item in this video that I also made, you know what I mean? But these are a pair of pants that I made, and you're asking yourself, well, why did you make a pair of pants? I custom made these because, one, I've always wanted to make my own raw denim. I didn't sew this myself, but I hit up an old manufacturer to do so. And I'll show you right here. These are also salvaged. The factory ended up doing a really good job with these. And just so you think I'm lying, there's no tagging here. In fact, the whole thing is unbranded. Also, these are sample buttons. These aren't the actual buttons they're supposed to come with. They are supposed to come with actual silver buttons, no different than something like Evisu or Ironheart, but that's way later down the line. This is just the first sample that I got in. But what really drove me to end up making this pair of pants and customizing this pair of pants is because I couldn't find like a perfect pair of black raw denim that was the fitting that I wanted. A lot of the fitting for the raw denim out right now, if you're paying under $150 to $200, the majority of them are like the slim fits, right? They're the slims to skinnies. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people that wear raw denim, they love the slims and the skinnies because it will actually crease faster instead of having a baggier pair of raw denim, because it's tighter within the places that it's supposed to crease. I mean, it's simple the way that works. But I was looking for a pair of black raw denim that potentially could flare at the bottom just a little bit. we're not talking about like gallery department. We're not talking about Vujade. We're not talking about that type of fitting, but just something very subtle that will kind of change a little bit of how the aesthetic looks on these pants. And I can't lie, the first sample actually came out good, but there are some things I do want to tweak in the future. So what I did instead is that I created a straight leg pair of pants. I gave them the measurements of what I wanted. I said, hey, make them straight leg. And then near the shin area, give or take, is where I had them taper it out a little bit at about a ½ inch to a ¼ inch. Is what I wanted. So then it gives you that little flare, you feel me? Like, it makes it look that much better. And here's some kind of like b-roll of what that looks like. The best part about these pants, it covers your shoes really well, especially Air Force Ones, and not a lot of jeans look good with it. A lot of skinny jeans, I mean, I don't really feel like wearing skinnies or slims with them, but I want something that is slim enough during the leg, but then once it gets down to the shoe, it covers it like mwah, perfect. And these happen to work out very well. Oh, also, before I forget, the company ended up, or my factory ended up sending me a whole bunch of raw denim samples. Some of them are kind of more thin material. Some of them are kind of more thick material. You can even do stripes as if it's like some kind of dress up. But I ended up going with this one. I think this number is 373. It is a black raw denim. That's the selvage on the edge there. I like this fabric because it can fade out to white. And here I'll just show you a quick example of kind of what it's supposed to look like when you've worn it to death, basically. I like the concept of black raw denim that fades to like a whitish charcoal or a gray color. It looks very good. And for those who are asking, are you starting a brand? I don't have an answer yet. I don't even have a name. Otherwise I would have tagged this and I would have put my brand name right there. Or I would probably have given it a leather patch right here. I didn't go that far to do that because literally I just wanted to make a pair of pants for myself that I can wear, that I'm proud of. It's raw denim, fits the way I want it to. But also to answer that question a little further, yes, I do want to make my own brand in the future. Working towards that, I'm thinking of, you know, certain ideas and stuff like that, and whatever is kind of coming to mind, I jot it down, put it onto the mood board. And maybe if this gets a good response in the future and people like the way that it fits, potentially we can start making these maybe as a first item or something like that. Just come out straight out the gate with raw denim and see how it goes. So who knows? I had to take you outside of that room really quick because I wanted to show you this. I showed this bike in one of my last pickup videos. I had like 2 or 3 people out of like the 10,000 people that watched it that did message me. They ended up messaging me like, oh, you should update us on the bike and this and that. So people have been in quarantine since the whole Black Lives Matter movement has been going on. A lot of people haven't been posting. I haven't been posting. I've basically just been spending a lot of my time, you feel me, doing this and building this. And what it is, it's an actual e-bike. The original bike though is from Walmart, which I really regret buying a Walmart bike, but I will probably try to make a video on how I built this. This is a 2000 watt motor on the back. This is a 52 volt battery. I think it's 17 amp hour. So my guess is that it can actually last up to maybe 5.5 to 6 hours of basically just roaming around with electric charge. But in total, I'm not gonna tell you how fast it goes. You can do your homework on how fast that type of bike goes. It goes really fast, let's put it that way. The only thing that I'm missing right now is that I'm missing a torque arm. You see these 2 holes right here? I'm supposed to install a torque arm right here and then screw it in, because if you have a motor this fast, what can happen is that the torque on the frame can be so powerful that can actually pretty much fuck up the frame, and the frame can snap. Apparently it can snap here. I don't know if it can actually snap up there, especially if you have a Walmart bike, which I was dumb enough to buy one. It is what it is though. In the future, I will get a higher quality bike. So far the bike has been great though. You know what I mean? I did take it out for a ride already just to test it, and I can tell you right now, it's crazy. And I'm more excited about this than any other pickup that I'm showing you in this whole video, maybe besides the last one. Okay, I'm gonna lift up the bike really quick, and then I'm gonna show you how fast this thing like kind of goes. And then in the other video, I'll try to show you like the miles per hour that it does go. So let me show you. So, as you can tell, it's pretty damn fast. This thing is quick, yo. Once this thing is done, when I get my torque arm, everything, and maybe even in the future get a new bike frame, and maybe even tweak out the colors and stuff, this thing's gonna be, this is my baby right here. I'm gonna be having so much fun. I know this is not fashion related, but this is what I've been spending a lot of my time on, a lot of research on, because it's the first bike I've ever built. And it's successful. It's like, I thought that there was gonna be a lot more things about it that was gonna be pretty difficult. It ended up being actually not as easy, but easy enough to figure out all the information online, and then being part of like some of the Discord groups for e-bikes and stuff. This shit is hard, it goes crazy. I suggest you probably get one in the future. It's dope, trust. All right, I'm gonna put this down. The next item that we got up is going to be this Speed Hunters t-shirt. So if you guys seen my other pickups video, I've also bought the hoodie in this version. I love the graphic from Balenciaga. This is of course a Balenciaga t-shirt, Speed Hunters, and then it's got the little like basically fake boy band playlist on the back. And then also the t-shirt that I'm wearing is a Speed Hunters t-shirt. I ended up just like falling in love with the Speed Hunters tees and just the whole concept of it. It was just, you know, for me, it just worked. It really just worked out for me. I just like the way that it looks. I like that it's ambiguous. Like literally, Speed Hunters doesn't exist. It's not a boy band. It's not a boy band. It's not a movie. It's not some kind of ad for anything. It's literally fictitious. And I like the idea behind that Demna had created basically fake boy bands and put them onto t-shirts, because people these days just buy a whole shit ton of vintage of bands that they don't even know anyway. So his answer to that was like, well, why don't we just make up our own too and put them on shirts, right? It's the same concept, so to speak. So anyways, I ended up liking it, and they also fit very well. That is another thing that I need to say about this. I ended up trading a pair of Bapestas, not directly to the seller that I bought these from, but I ended up selling those, and then with that money I bought more of the Speed Hunters t-shirts. Alright, so the next brand that I want to bring up is a brand that I talked about on my underappreciated streetwear brand video, and this is the name right here. And just so I don't embarrass myself, I'm gonna put this right here for you, and you could read it yourself, because I don't know how to pronounce this. I really don't. So what happened is that I ended up making that video, and they hit me up afterwards, and they kind of thanked me for shouting them out, because I thought they did really good work. And what they are known for, I believe, and how they're doing so well right now, is that they actually do homage t-shirts, very similar to what like Marino Morewood is doing right now. I thought this Biggie t-shirt was actually pretty cool. They did the back and front graphic really large, and with their large homage tee type t-shirts, they actually do a really good job with balancing the graphic from left to right, and also it covers up a majority of the t-shirt, is kind of really what you want when you buy these type of t-shirts, you know what I mean? This is size small, but my assumption is they run pretty big. This looks really big. Probably supposed to be oversized, honestly. But I'll show some B-roll here of what that looks like. Not only did they send me this t-shirt, they also sent me another kind of like black and white boxy oversized t-shirt, and it has their brand name on the back right there. And they also do some pretty interesting collars. These collars are actually really thick. Like the rim here is like a lot thicker than your normal collar, so when you put it on, it does feel a little bit higher, but the minute you're 5 or 10 minutes into wearing it, you can't even feel it after that. So I wish I can talk more about this other than it being a t-shirt and how I found them, but I would say check out their Instagram right here. You can see more information on them. Unfortunately, I don't know much. I mean, he was just nice enough to send this to me, and I just want to make sure that I can shout him out on the channel. They do great work, and again, check them out. Last item that we got up, I always try to make it something worth your while to watch throughout the whole video, and end with this. And of course, what else do we end with other than another pair of Bapestas? And I gotta tell you how shocked I am to own these. That's number one. Number two, I definitely have found a pretty good, reliable source that is able to proxy these from Japan, even though there are a pretty good amount of Bapestas kind of floating around on the net right now when it comes to GRAILED and eBay and the Depop's and stuff. Just kind of have to watch out for the fakes out there. But I've always wanted a pair of black and white Bapestas, not Roadstas, because I actually have the Roadstas too, and you're like, well, that's the same exact shoe. It's not the same silhouette, but it definitely is the same exact colorway. Shout out to the Instagram plug for this one. Shout out to my homie out in Japan. I'm very happy about these. And also, it's very hard and very rare to find Bapestas that have leather. So this one's leather. This one's unfortunately not my size though, and the condition is just kind of all right. The toe box is kind of smashed right there. I mean, even though you could probably stuff something in there and fix that. I mean, these ones are dope, but man, these ones, whoo, boy. The leather on the toe box, going crazy. You really don't see too many people, in fact, anybody, rocking the black and white Bapestas in leather. And I'm gonna wear these. I mean, even though this is a collector's, I'm wearing these. 100% gonna be wearing these. You know what I mean? These go crazy. Feel me? The accent on these are just immaculate. It's perfect. How can you go wrong with a black and white, either Air Force One with a good color balance, and or especially a Bapesta. You feel me? And last words is, if you do happen to like the pants that I showed you footage of, how they looked and how they fit and things like that, I really do want you to comment below, tell me what you think about them. But the way I ended up tailoring those, for me, it's pretty special, something that definitely worked out for me. So I would love to hear your feedback in the comments, and who knows, maybe in the future it could become something, it could become a product, it can actually become an item. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys and girls keep it locked. From clothing, music to culture, it is your boy Keezy, and I'm out. Peace.
You want to do, and it's just gonna take a minute, but it's gonna work out. Like if you try to cut corners and you put costumes on to do shit, yeah, you gonna get straight, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? And how you feel when you do this shit for you, 100% for you. You could grind and stay up for 5 or 6 days and not really be tired because it's for you.